Today, I'm going to be showcasing two awesome products from Mackie's studio monitor lineup. On my left, the CR8BT pair of 8-inch studio monitors, and on my right, the CR8SBT 8-inch powered subwoofer. Both of these are really versatile speakers and subwoofers that can be tuned to different uses and situations. You can dial these to a more neutral setting and use them as studio monitors, or crank up the EQ a bit and use them as bookshelf speakers or even home party speakers. In this video, I'm going to talk about the build quality of these, what comes in the packaging, all the important specs and features you should know about, give you an up-close look at the ins and the outs, the connections, of course give you a demo of them in action, and ultimately let you know whether or not I think they're worth picking up for yourself. If you're new here, welcome to the Phase Reviews YouTube channel. My name is Jordan. If you're one of my subscribers, welcome back as always. Before I dive into talking about these speakers, if you're not already, I would love to earn your subscription by the end of this video, and hopefully you'll ring that notification bell as well so you don't miss any more content coming in the future. And if you enjoy what you see, make sure to like the video and leave a comment down below. But enough about that. Let's talk about the CR8BT and the CR8SBT from Mackie. First off, what's in a name? Why did Mackie choose to call these studio monitors and subwoofer the CR8 and 8S? Well, CR stands for Creative Reference, which is Mackie's terminology for their studio monitor line. The 8, of course, refers to the 8-inch woofers that are found in both of the different products. And then the S on this model specifically denotes that it's a subwoofer. BT on the ends means that these do have Bluetooth functionality. And what's really great about the subwoofer is if you choose to just buy the subwoofer and use it with another pair of bookshelf speakers or studio monitors, this has a built-in crossover, and it also has Bluetooth functionality itself. So if your other speakers don't have that capability, you can integrate that without having to buy a separate Bluetooth receiver. Now, both of these, again, are claiming to be studio monitors. So if you're someone who is producing music, you're editing videos in a home studio like I do, or you just want some great speakers to listen to while you are at your desk working, if you work from home, these speakers have the ability to offer you a very neutral sound. And we're going to go into how you can dial in the sound to your taste in just a moment. Now, each of these speakers is the biggest in their respective lineup. So the 8-inch monitors are the largest that Mackie sells, and the 8-inch subwoofer is the biggest in the CR Creative Reference line. And let me just tell you, these things are big. By far the biggest studio monitors that I have owned, and I've had quite a few, and they are heavy to boot. I think this thing has got to come in at 30 plus pounds a piece, okay? And one of these does have the amplifier in it, the other is passive, so one is slightly lighter than the other, but both of them are no slouch. And they've got a really thick dampened cabinet. You can hear not a lot of resonance, really nice durable coating on the outside. It's got this kind of brushed finish, and it stands up great to scratches and abuse. Not that you're gonna move your studio monitors around very much, but it's good to know that it's gonna hold up to whatever you throw at it, be it your cat or dropping things or setting things on it, whatever it is. Now the front plate is very modern and sleek. We've got that signature Mackie green accent color. The tweeter here on the monitors has a nice grill over it, so you're not gonna damage the soft tweeter underneath. And then the speaker cone right here, 8-inch speaker cone, really nice rubber surround, and overall the whole design looks really great. There's a couple controls at the bottom here which we'll get to in a minute, and the subwoofer is much of the same. That same brushed hard coating on the outside. We've got a grill over our speaker driver right here on the front, and then on the back we have all of our connections. The subwoofer does have feet for elevating it a little bit off the floor, and all of these speakers are rear ported. So you can see we've got our port here in the monitor, we've got the same on here, and then for our subwoofer, we've got our down firing port here on the bottom. Now that's kind of the construction quality. What else comes in the box with these speakers? Well, with the studio monitors with the CR8BT, you're of course going to get your manual. They also have some little stick-on rubber pads right here that you can use as feet on the bottom of these speakers so that they don't scratch whatever surface that you're putting them on. And then we've got our bag of cables right here, which includes, of course, our power cable, standard replaceable, very common lead that we've got here in the US. We've got our RCA aux cord right here, so if you want to do a line input. And then they do include a basic speaker cable for connecting the powered monitor to the passive monitor. So everything you need out of the gate to get going, whether you want to do wired or wireless, you can absolutely do that. Now the subwoofer, let me set these off to the side here. The subwoofer comes with a few other things. So you're of course going to get your power cable. This is an IEC power cable. I absolutely love when people put this with their products, even more consumer focused products like this. This is very common, easily replaceable, upgradable if you want. Overall, a really nice design. We're also going to get an aux cord with this, and then you're going to get a basic RCA to RCA cable right here for sending the signal to your speakers from the subwoofer, or however else you want to hook these up. You're going to get your manual, of course, and the other thing that this subwoofer includes is going to be your remote control. So this has a wired braided cable remote control that feels very, very nice. Has a kind of a suction cup rubber bottom right here that you can set on your table with dual knobs to adjust both the subwoofer volume and the overall system volume. It's a great looking little controller. It has a nice form factor, not too big, not too small. And overall, this makes the experience of using the subwoofer either by itself or with a integrated system much, much better, okay? So that's all of the features that come, or all the, the accessories that come in the box. Let's talk about a few important specs that you need to know. When it comes to the CR8BT monitors, these have a frequency response of 44 Hertz up to 20,000 Hertz or 20 kilohertz, which is pretty much the full spectrum for most music. 40 Hertz is going to be the bottom string on your bass guitar, so we're missing just a touch of that, which is where our subwoofer comes in. But on the whole, these are going to get pretty much everything that you need. Now, if you're producing a lot of hip hop, a lot of EDM, these may not reach as low as you want for that without a subwoofer, but for the vast majority of music, this is going to cover the entire frequency spectrum. These can reach up to 108 dB sound pressure levels with the built-in 160 watt amplifier. For near field listening, having these close to you on a desk, that's going to be more than enough to damage your hearing. So there's no shortage of volume, and even in my testing, getting up to around half or a little over halfway on the volume knob with a Bluetooth phone is pretty dang loud and not something I'd be comfortable listening to for a long time. The CR8BT support Bluetooth 5.0 for audio streaming, which is the most up-to-date latest spec for that. They're dual voltage for use here in the US or in other countries, and like I suspected, they come in at 35 pounds. The CR8SBT subwoofer has a frequency response of 30 Hertz up to 400 Hertz. So this can dip down quite a bit lower. That extra 14 Hertz really makes a difference when compared with the monitors, and when you cross this subwoofer over with the monitors and let it handle all the low end, you're going to get even more fidelity and clarity out of the CR8BTs. This guy can go up to 112 dB SPL with its built-in 200 watt amplifier, so a little more power in the low end. It's got Bluetooth 5.0 as well and comes in at 24.5 pounds in weight. All right, enough specifications. Let me flip these around. I'll show you the ins and the outs and how you're gonna hook this system up. All right, so I've lined all three speakers up so we can take a look at them one at a time. We'll start with the CR8S, our subwoofer. We've got two sets of inputs, 1/4-inch tip ring sleeved balanced or unbalanced inputs, as well as RCA. Three controls right here. You've got your input level, which is basically your gain, so you can dial in so that this matches other components in your system, or if you need a little bit of extra juice for a low level output. This expects a line level output, but if you need to add a little bit, you can do it right here. We've got the subwoofer output level right here. This is where you're going to bring your sub up to the whatever level you want, and then we've got our crossover right here, and they do have a few notches listed here for 80 Hertz and 120, and then you can go all the way up at the top to 180. We have a polarity switch right here between 0 and 180 degrees. This helps align your speakers. If for some reason you don't feel like your bass is quite where you want it, try giving this switch a flick, and that could resolve your issues if for some reason physically the speakers on the subwoofer are offset. We've got two pairs of outputs as well. We've got our tip ring sleeve 1/4-inch as well as our RCA. And then the rest right here is the input for the CRDV, which is our remote control. It plugs in with a 1/4-inch jack as well. Here's a closer look at that remote. There we go. We've got two different rings to control the overall system volume as well as the subwoofer volume independently. These controls are just so smooth, so fluid, and overall this thing is hefty and feels really, really great. Now, this is the CR8BT, the powered and the non-powered speaker. On the non-powered speaker, we've just got our red and black inputs for our speaker wire to receive power from this guy. Now, there are the outputs to the passive speaker. Again, just like the sub, we've got 1/4-inch and RCA inputs as well as an aux cord right here. And then we've got a couple switches down here at the bottom. There are a few different modes you can do, desktop or bookshelf. So desktop is gonna be for your near field listening if these are very close to you sitting at your desk. And then bookshelf is more if you're trying to use these to fill a room with music for some sort of party, get together for a movie or something like that. You're gonna wanna put it down to the bookshelf. And then you can choose which side you have your powered speaker on, either left or right, which is really nice. If you're constrained by the room, you can say, I want this on the right, boom, all you gotta do is flick your switch, and now your right and left stereo image will be intact. The last thing I wanted to do was flip the powered monitor around here so we could highlight just a few more things. Up here we've got this little Mackie logo, which will turn white when the speaker is on and will indicate whether or not the speaker is paired with Bluetooth or not. You can also use this as a button to enter pairing mode if you need to hook up a new device. Down at the bottom we've got two knobs. On the left is the choose your tone knob, which basically allows you to EQ the speaker. On the far left where it says work, as a very neutral, unequalized speaker, giving you the truest reproduction of the sound. And then as you go to the right, you're gonna get more and more bass, more and more highs, kind of that smiley face EQ curve, a more exciting sound, good for music playback, throwing a party, anything like that. We've got a headphone output right here, and then our main volume knob with a little click that lets you know that the speaker is turned from off to on. And like I said, tons and tons of volume here with these speakers. Now, we're gonna flip the camera over to a sound demo. I know a lot of people like those. I'm not a big fan of them. I don't think it accurately represents how the speakers sound coming through to you on YouTube, but everyone wants to see it. So I'll hook these up. I'll play music through just the monitors first, doing both the work and the play mode and the bookshelf and the reference or the studio monitor modes, and then I'll add the subwoofer in and we'll hear the whole system together as one. So there you have it, the Mackie CR8BT studio monitors and the CR8SBT studio subwoofer. This is a great combination and they're both very versatile and can be paired with any other number of speakers. I don't think you're gonna get this good of construction quality, which Mackie is known for. Their motto's built like a tank, and with every product from Mackie that I've had, that has been the truth. But not only are you gonna get good construction, the sound quality is fantastic, and these are very versatile speakers that can go from your studio or your production area to your living room for a party or for a movie, just like that with the quick turn of a knob. There are a ton of different inputs and outputs. I love the fact that the subwoofer has built-in Bluetooth so you can integrate it with other components, and all in all, I think this is a phenomenal value for the price. So if you wanna check these out, read more about them, I'll include a link down below. You can buy through there and it would support the channel. I would of course love you for it, and it doesn't cost you anything extra. But if you're not gonna pick these up, just go ahead and subscribe and ring that notification bell so you don't miss any videos coming in the future. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.